Hi Tom, love to see you. You've been here a couple of weeks now. First, just tell us, the weather's lovely, how are you settling in? How's it going so far?
Yeah, very welcoming people, staff, supporters, so it's been a really nice welcome for me. I was here a week before the players returned and was itching for those to return, and then I've had nearly 2 weeks with them that I've thoroughly enjoyed. It's been hard work, but I've been really pleased with the quality, the mentality, and the desire to work hard. So it's been a great start, and I'm looking forward to a trip away with the squad next week and a real intense period with them, both on and off the field. And for sure, we won't lack any preparation going into the new season.
Good to hear. You've brought in Brendan Wiredu today and Bimeyev as well. Tell us a bit more about them, why you feel they fit what you're planning here.
Yeah, so Brendan's one we've been really keen to do. He brings a physicality to the team that we're maybe lacking a little bit. He's played a lot of games at this level. He's captain of his club, so brings a real leadership. And on top of that, as you can see after one training session, he has a lot of quality. So really pleased with doing that one. And Bimeyev, we've been keen to add to our firepower options. And he can certainly do that. He's got a specific set of qualities that any defender wouldn't want to face. There's a lot of work to do with him to polish his game, and I'm sure we can do that. And again, another exciting signing we've managed to get over the line.
Quite a few people listening to this might not have seen him play. What sort of qualities in particular do you admire about Bim? What does he do? What sort of forward is he?
So he's brilliant with his back to goal, real focal point. So whenever we do need to be a bit more direct, he can bring us that option. Powerful, quick, so he offers a threat in behind. Good finisher, and then there's technical aspects that we know we need to improve on and polish up. But he's not the finished article. He's got a great attitude. You can tell he's really happy to be here, which are the kind of players that we want. And he's got a work ethic to improve, so I'm looking forward to going on a journey with him.
We've had a couple of outgoings lately. Callum Wright today. Talk us a bit about the thinking about letting Callum Wright go out to Wigan on loan.
Yeah, so I'm a type of coach who prefers my squads to be on the smaller sides, and within that you need a couple of versatile players who can sort of do two jobs, sometimes even three jobs, which Brendan also brings us. Can play 6 centre half. So yeah, Callum, I couldn't offer him the game time that he was expecting or that he was wanting. I respect what he brings as a player and what he's brought to the club. But I think our team, to be really dynamic and how I want us to play, needs a little bit something different. And so it was free for Callum to go, and I wish him all the best.
What's the latest on Maxi Talivierov? Obviously very popular here when he came in January, a club record signing. There was talk earlier in the week about possibly a move to Stoke City. Obviously he's an international player. I imagine he wants to play at championship level or higher. Are you able to keep him here, or do you think we may have seen the last of Maxi, and if so, will he leave on permanently? Will he leave on loan? What's the talk there?
Yeah, we expect Maxi to complete his move away from the club. I think that's 99% done. So I'll be as honest as I can be on that one, and we don't expect to have Maxi back in the building. Again, a player who you can see his quality. He plays for Ukraine, and he's trying to get to a World Cup. So he's been very respectful with myself. He's been very respectful with his teammates, and if you are unfortunately going to lose a player like Maxi, he's certainly done it in a very respectful way, and he's gone to the level above, which is the nature of being relegated at times. Like I said, you can either focus on the players you're losing at this stage, or we can be excited by the players that we've brought in. And from 2 weeks on the training field, I'm very excited by those players, as well as creating a culture of a squad who really is together and wants to be here. So that's where my focus is going at the minute. But what I would say is I didn't see Maxi on the training pitch, but he's we've had some really respectful conversations, and I also wish him all the best.
A couple more, Brett, and we'll move on.
Yeah, sure, okay. Final one for me. You talk about kind of Maxi leaving, Michael Bailey's gone, Ryan Hardy's gone. Obviously, they're quite high earning players, and you've got fees for I would guess all three of them. Does that give you a larger pot of money and wage budget that perhaps you'd be using for than maybe you had planned 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, I think even before I got in this post, we were speaking to David Fox and Andrew about the budget and how that looked, and they've been very transparent with that, and it's a really processed, strategic club, and you can see they've got the right people in the right places, and it's going to be a sustainable football club, and that's the smart people. So if we bring in money, it will be there to reinvest, I'm sure, and we're working hard to bring in the last couple of pieces of the puzzle that I think will complete what I've seen as a very exciting and dynamic football team.
Super. That's all from me. Thank you, Rob. Chris?
Hello, Tom. Before coming on to a couple of your new signings, can I just ask you about one more player who's left, Michael Baidoo, who joined the club as the club record signing at the start of January, and now he's left to go on loan to Qatar. Can you tell us how that came about? Were you in favour of that move taking place?
Again, it's tough for me to comment too much on a player I've not seen, I've not met, I've not spoke to, and I've not coached. So it's a transfer that's clearly not panned out how the club will have wanted it to, or the player, because you're coming in with big expectation, with real hope that he could be an exciting asset for the club, and to see him go out on loan isn't great, but I was in the decision-making process that he didn't look like the player that we need for this season, as well as you don't want too many unhappy players in your building. So my attentions have been elsewhere, and let's hope that he can reignite his career somewhere else.
Since the last time we saw you, you've brought in Xavier Amici and Owen Orsini. How have they settled in? What are your first impressions seeing them on the training ground?
Yeah, fantastically well. Owen is a technically good, pacey striker. He's come from obviously a level below, or even below that bit of Gateshead, but he's got some real good qualities you can see to work with. He's got again an attitude to want to improve, and that's key to anyone fulfilling their potential. Is they've got the attitude to do so. He wants to listen, wants to learn, and he brings us something a little bit different to Bimeyev, and in the striking department. So that's a positive. And Xavier is a bit further down the line in terms of development. He's a couple of years older. He's a bit more experienced, and I wouldn't call him a young player anymore, but I don't want to put too much pressure on him. But from what I've seen, he could be a very highly exciting player for this football club. So
you've brought Owen in and you've brought Bim in as strikers, but neither of those have got the number 9 shirt, which begs the obvious question. Presumably you're looking for your main striker, your number 9, to fill that shirt. Where are you at in that process, do you think? Yeah,
so those guys, I'm sure, will have as good a chance or opportunity, platform to get the number 9 starting spot as anyone else. But I think they also know that they have development in them. They've got potential that we need to fulfil. And yes, I'm sure we will get someone in that will be someone who maybe is a little bit more developed or in position to have the expectation of being this club's number 9, and we're working hard to do that. You're right. Wearing that number 9 shirt brings pressure and expectation. You need the right character to do that, don't you? As well as the ability. Absolutely, to play for this football club, to lead the line, to wear the number 9, and as well as the expectation that there should be a pressure on us to win this year. And when you're the number 9 in a team that has to win, that takes big shoulders. So that the character of the player, whoever it may be, takes part in our decision making. and we're, like I said, we're I can't tell you we're really far down the line, but we're the wheels are in motion, and we're hopeful to have that player in sooner rather than later.
Again, when we last saw you, you mentioned about Connor Hazard and the injury that he'd picked up. Where are you at the moment in terms of bringing in another goalkeeper for Connor when he's fit, and Zach Baker?
Again, talks taking place. We've had a couple of players here on trial that I'm sure you know about. One of them being a goalkeeper. He's impressed us enough for us to make an offer. Now those the talks are in place, and that's where I sort of take a little bit of a backseat. I can have my technical input, and then the club and the players' representatives need to come to a deal, and hopefully that's done before we go to Austria this weekend.
Is the goalkeeper Archie Mayer?
No.
Different goalkeeper?
Yeah.
Okay. And you've been talked to have on trial Ayman Benarus, who's at Bristol City. I think that's correct, isn't it? Where you're at with him? Again,
Ayman, we've made an offer to a player who, if you want to know what kind of player I like, what style of player I like, then he falls into that mould absolutely. He's been very impressive in his trial period. He's had fitness issues in the past that he looks like he's over. He's in all the physical work we've done. He's been really competitive and at the front of that. So he's a player that for sure there's a little bit of risk attached with his injury history, but the quality he's shown in the last week far outweighs that risk, in my opinion, and we'll be delighted if we can come to a deal on that one.
And I think you'd be a good judge of a central midfielder player like him as well. I should ask you, can you tell us who the goalkeeper is that you've had on trial?
No, just going back to Ayman, he's the perfect example of one of those versatile players. So he came through at Bristol City as a left-footed right winger. He made his debut as a left wing back. He's a player who's got a great football brain, and most of the time those players can fill in more than one or two positions, and he gives us that versatility and quality for sure.
And the goalkeeper?
The goalkeeper is Tyler Miller that we've had on trial.
And you've offered him a deal as well?
There's been an offer made, and we're negotiating in that. And like I said, we're hopeful. We like Tyler's qualities and experience and calmness that he brings, and we're hoping to try and come to a deal there.
Have you come across him before, or is he just somebody that's come down on trial and caught your eye while he's been training with you?
I've not, no, but obviously football's like a small village that you can get a reference on everyone in 30 seconds. So I've done my homework on it.
One last one for me. You're off to Austria next week. What are you looking forward to most? What are you looking to get out of the trip?
These trips are great because not just the intensive work you can do. So in the 4 training days that we have, Monday to Thursday, we'll do 6 sessions, and that's really important work. It rounds off the first 3 weeks of real physical work, but you get every evening with the players. You get to really connect with them as characters, as people, as what motivates them, and so it's a really important few days, rounded off with a good fixture against strong opposition, and then some team bonding stuff in the mix of that as well. So really priceless trip for us that we should take advantage of.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Your football experience comes across in your sort of managerial style. You're very sort of calm and relaxed about things. Has anything really surprised you? Because it is a relegated. You've talked through this loads of times, haven't you? It's a relegated team. You're expecting people to leave, and therefore you're expecting people to arrive. Have you? Nothing's really taken you by surprise, has it?
The one thing that has surprised me is how there is absolutely no hangover with the players that I've been working with. In my first presentation, I said to the players, we need a mentality shift of we're not in survival mode anymore. We're trying to thrive and we're trying to dominate. But I've not seen any sort of hangover, any scarring from last season, and that's been a real. I've been relegated twice in my playing career, and it takes a while to get over. And I've not seen any signs of that. They're eager to work. They want to learn, listen. and they want to compete against each other, and now comes the time where we get to compete against other teams in pre-season, and we're all looking forward to that.
It's worth remembering you weren't relegated, were you, nor your coaching team?
What's that?
It's worth remembering that you or your coaching team weren't relegated, were you?
Oh yeah. So we bring a fresh energy. Yeah. I think our age helps with that. We've got lots and lots of energy, which this job needs. We're really related to the players because we were all players not so long ago.
Yeah.
We bring a freshness because we didn't suffer that relegation, but that's not our mentality. I've not once thought of sort of an us and them sort of dynamic. We're all in this together. We all have new goals for this season, and I've not thought too much of last season. And
final one, you know what a legend Nance is at this club. Has it gone well with him? Have you enjoyed his company? And you know, I've seen a few of the videos. You're like quite close together on the training pitch. Blah blah blah. Absolutely. I think I said last time that the Argyle staff were the staff we probably connected with most last season as an opposing manager. We played in a cup against each other as well, and always spent 30-40 minutes with each other afterwards. So I got to know Nance quite well there, and he's. So I was going to say he's fit onto our staff, but we've probably fit into his club. Is more the term I should use. And he's been brilliant to work with, and he'll be a huge asset for me here. Any pasties going on the trip to Austria? Nance can be head of pasties. Thank you for your time, Tom. Much appreciated. Cheers.
Yeah, no, I think most of them have been answered. All right, cool.
Is the one we can ask about, have you got a behind closed doors game tomorrow?
Yes, but both clubs have agreed to keep it under wraps. Yeah.
But there is a gap.
There's a game. There's a competitive game tomorrow.
Okay, so that's your first.
That'll be my first in the dugout.
Yeah. And then you've got the games in Austria, then you've got Truro, Torquay, and then there's a free Saturday. Last I heard, are you still trying to fill that Saturday with a game? We are open to options. It's not the worst case scenario if it is 2 11s of our own. It means that you can experiment a little bit as well as manage everyone's minutes in that when it's so. Yeah, we'll adapt to whatever offers itself there.